Cool. Alright, Glenn, obviously just saying 3-0 must be a pretty good way to start the season in your eyes.
Yeah, look, we're just focused on doing what's in front of us and getting all the little parts of our game right. And, those outcomes are sort of taking care of themselves, but the detail was going and the way the boys are working, we're really happy with that. So it's been a good month.
How are you enjoying your role? Because you just spoke about, obviously, Canterbury, and the Mitre 10 Cup, Super Rugby. What key differences are you finding in this role?
Oh, look, it's a big challenge, and it's a competition I haven't coached in before. So for me, it's about learning more about different players from different areas. But the game tempo is certainly very high, particularly here under the roof. Our games are pretty high speed, so I'm the defensive side, so I enjoy an aggressive mindset there, and our players have certainly got that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
One incident in the weekend that's sort of come up in the last couple of days is Ben Smith approaching the referee after one of the Crusaders' tries. Apparently Sanzar today has come out and sort of said they won't be sort of tolerating that. In your eyes, what do you think is the ideal outcome? Should a player be able to approach a ref on a decision like that?
I think players and referees, captains particularly, have a right to have communication. They always do, and there's a lot of respect there and empathy there. And I think all we'll do is follow the guidelines, whatever Sanzar have put down for that sort of communication. But it's an integral part of our game, referees and captains finding a way to work together. And I think that's what we saw. So it's not something we're particularly stuck on at all. We're just going to move on to the next one, and we'll follow whatever guidelines are put in front of us.
Did Ben Smith step over the mark, do you think?
Oh, he's having a conversation with the referee, so that's all that we saw. And at the end of the day, the decision was made, and we moved on.
Had Matt Todd done that, would you have felt robbed?
Oh, look, I don't think I really have an opinion on it. It's down to the individual, and Matt's their captain, and Ben's our captain. So those interactions, I think, are really healthy, a really important part of the game.
I want to cover that where's the line in that instance? Is there a line, you think, in terms of where that stops, or how much interaction players can have?
Oh, look, I think the game's a game of decision making, both as players and as referees. Everyone's out there making decisions and doing a really good job, and I think having that dialogue is really important, and having the ability to have a really empathetic discussion with the guys that you're working with. I think it's an important part of the game. I wouldn't like to see that we couldn't have those conversations, but as I say, it's down to Sanzar to determine what we can and we can't do, and we'll follow whatever they have to say.
Is it getting too prescriptive, that sort of stuff, do you think, if they're setting out things?
No, I think it's just the way the game's sort of flowing, and I guess there might be a little bit of reaction, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's getting prescriptive. I think what we've got is really healthy contests, and the intensity of the contest is the key thing from that weekend. It was a huge battle against a very good side. We played well, and I think the contest itself sort of shone through. So that's really the key thing from our side.
Given the warning, have you told the guys to dial it back at all?
We haven't really had any issues to talk about anything really. I mean, it's they just get on and worry about what's in front of them, and hopefully the outcomes will take care of themselves.
You've been pleased with the defence so far, you guys?
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. I think on the grumpy side of the ball, am I ever happy? I don't know. Some would say no, but look, there's really challenging pictures coming, and Crusaders put some really challenging pictures in front of us, and we dealt with them on some occasions, and some other times we scrambled really, really well. But at the moment, training a couple of tries a game is not too bad. I'd like to pull that back if we could, but we're certainly okay.
That's hard at the stadium.
Yeah.
Attack orientated.
But I think also the change in the laws around the breakdown. So defensively, we have to come in from our own side, whereas the tackler used to be able to come back in from the other side of the ball. So not being able to do that now means that it's pretty difficult to slow that ball down. And against good teams, we saw the Stormers here carry the ball through 15 phases, ended up scoring. But look, we're pushing teams deep to come up with creative ways to break us down.
What about the guys who are running in front of the ball, carrying over dummy halves, and they sort of passing behind them? Is that getting too far? I'm just referring to that first try where was it Jordan just ran straight through a line? Is that going too far?
No, look, I was okay with that. It's a pretty standard play that runs rugby, and look, we just needed to get our alignment a little bit better and give Lima a better shot at getting off. And if that was me on the attack side, I'd say it's a pretty good attack, and I think they executed it really well. Yeah. So for us, it's a bit of learning about our spacing and our alignment. So what we'll do is we'd rather draw it back to what we can control, and train better, train different pitches, and make sure we're aware for next time.
Things don't get any easier, do they? You spoke about the games you've already had, but Hurricanes away this weekend.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's every time you wake up on a day after game day, there's a new challenge on the horizon, and Hurricanes in Wellington are going to be an epic challenge. They're playing really well, a really good side. We've analysed them. We think they're playing some very, very good football. They've got threats across the park. they defend aggressively. I think it's going to be great fun to be involved in, so we can't wait.
What's their main threat, the Hurricanes, when you come up against that side? What are you planning for, well, most?
Oh, all of them. Yeah, look, in a nutshell, they've got some very strong power carriers. You know, they get very good go forward off Laumapi, and Julian Sarve looks back to his best form. He's a handful. Artie's a handful, and you start layering them off, and then you've got surprise pack for this season. Probably not so from Mitre 10 last year was Ben Lamb, who lit a try up last week with huge pace. So the threats across the park, and I haven't even mentioned the Barrett boys. So you put that in there, you start to think that defence coaches don't sleep too well when you're facing that sort of opposition. But it's a sort of challenge that we're looking forward to.
And all those names, and there's still the halfback battle as well. The two best going at it. How's Aaron been this week? Is this sort of a battle that he relishes, going up up against the best in the country?
Well, Aaron's one of the most competitive people I've ever met, and he wants to battle against anyone. And when you find yourself in the position of the shirt, then everyone's coming for you. So he gets someone's A game every week, and this week will be no different. It'll be a really exciting battle within a battle between those two. And look, he's very controlled and composed around what he does, but his competitive instincts take over on a Saturday. So his job this week, and he's doing it really well so far, is just to get himself ready for what we need to deliver. And I'm sure he'll be in a good space for the whistle. Do
you think he rises, like you mentioned, that like the calibre of play he plays? He goes against. Do you think he rises to that even more? Like, we know he's number one in the game, or rated number one in the game, but does he rise depending on who he's playing?
He rises every morning and comes hard at it. He's just full of energy and loves the game, and I think he just enjoys every contest. And I think for him, he's playing against a really good adversary this week. He's had them right the way through the competition. There were two good halfbacks against him last week, great halfback week one, and they'll just keep coming. And the reality is, when you get to the top part of the game, everyone wants to take the shirt off you, and that's the way it should be. That's the nature of the competitive game we're in. So, if he's in possession of that shirt, others want it off him, and that'll bring the best out of him. But Aaron gets up every day, and every day is a wonderful competitive challenge, and we love working with him. He's great fun.
So, would he be one of the most competitive players you've coached?
Oh yeah. I've coached a few competitive ones, but he's right up there, and his desire to play for this team has really impressed me. Unbelievably competitive. Wants to be successful, sets very high personal standards, and fights for everything, and really plays hard for his team. So I've been really impressed by him.
You got any other injuries apart from squad?
Nothing at the moment. No, there's only Liam from the weekend, which I think is all sort of packaged away. So I think we're full bill of health.
Yeah, good stuff.
Cheers. Nice one. Thanks, James.